Beneath these mountains lies a hidden world, a world of the Bapedi tribe. A world carved by water, patiently sculpted over hundreds of millions of years. Beyond these winding roads, towering limestone cliffs rises from the valley floor, so beautiful they almost don't look real. Next to that, a giant man-made crater plunges nearly 800 meters into the earth, one of the largest holes humans have ever carved into South African soil. And somewhere between these mountains, white elephants roam freely, while only a few kilometers away, some of Africa's most valuable minerals begin their journey across the world. And sometimes, the most important places on earth are the ones nobody talks about. Welcome to Phalaborwa, a place where engineering has reshaped the landscape, yet nature still refuses to surrender. Today, the Picanto and I are exploring one of South Africa's eastmost towns, a place where giant mining trucks outnumbers ordinary cars, where black dust clinges to everything, where one small community quietly powers industry across the globe. This is Phalaborwa. Directly translated, better than the South. It is the only town in South Africa with its own gate into Kruger National Park. One road leads to giant haul trucks carrying thousands of tons of rock. Another one leads to elephants, lions, leopards, and rhinos. Curious to understand why so few people visit, I visited one of the most strangest airports in the country. Unique and so beautifully designed. It felt as though I have arrived after the final flight had departed. And that's when I realized something special. Perhaps the world doesn't know what it's missing. From the outside, it doesn't even look like an airport. Massive thatched roofs, it feels more like an exclusive safari lodge than a transport hub. But when I stepped inside, silence. No rushing passengers, no queues at security, no busy cafes, nothing. It was beautiful, almost hauntingly beautiful. As I wandered through the terminal, the details began revealing themselves. Animal footprints pressed into the floor. One of the most unusual baggage claim areas I've ever seen. Everywhere you look, the airport reminds you exactly where you are. This is the gateway to Africa's greatest wilderness.
No. Empty airport.
And something else caught my attention. Imagine beginning your safari before you even left the terminal. When I finally reached the departure gates, only one small aircraft waited quietly in the airport. Beautiful, peaceful, and completely unexpected. And somehow, the mystery made me appreciate this place even more. Huge natural boulders transformed into benches. But this is a mining town, so let's head to the heart of it all. At first glance, Phalaborwa doesn't look extraordinary. It's quiet, small, almost forgotten. But beneath these streets lies one of the richest mineral deposits in southern Africa. Every single day, thousands of tons of rock leave this town. Inside them, copper, phosphate, vermiculite, magnetite, material that eventually becomes electrical cables, solar farms, wind turbines, smartphones, vehicles, homes, and the fertilizer that helps feed millions of people. For a town this size, its impact is astonishing. Phalaborwa Mining Company, or simply PMC, is South Africa's only operation that refines copper from a raw ore all the way to finished metal. From mining to concentration to smelting to refining, everything happens here. And right next door, POSCO controls South Africa's entire phosphate value chain. They mine it, process it, turn it into phosphoric acid, and manufacture fertilizer used throughout Southern Africa and exported around the world. Without this town, modern life becomes a little harder, yet almost nobody even talks about Phalaborwa. There is another surprise. I have reached one of Phalaborwa's highest viewpoint. Everything opens up here. Below me lay a famous PMC pit, a hole so enormous for more than 40 years. Miners dug deeper and deeper. When digging any deeper no longer made economic sense, mining didn't stop, it simply moved underground, using remarkable engineering methods known as blocking carving. Then nature reminded everyone who was truly in control. The northwest wall began cracking, and slowly, almost unnoticed, until nearly 600 million tons of rock collapsed into the pit. Yet the underground mining continued operating safely because the engineers had anticipated exactly this possibility. And today, scientists across the world continue monitoring this mine using satellites, studying tiny movement in the Earth's surface, helping make mining safer everywhere. And sometimes, the most important place on Earth are the ones nobody talks about. I'm leaving the mine town behind, passing the last track of the day, the last mountains, to reach the golden light spilled across the valley. The clouds drifted lazily overhead. A breathtaking view is revealed in front of the Picanto, one of South Africa's most spectacular drives. This is the Abel Erasmus Pass, one of South Africa's most spectacular drives. The road twisted through towering cliffs. Every corner revealed another breathtaking view. Welcome to the JG Strait Tunnel, nearly 600 meters carved through solid rock. The towering limestone cliffs, covered in lush green vegetation, ancient rock formed hundreds of millions of years ago. I've driven this road many times before, yet somehow, it still leaves me speechless. almost without warning, a waterfall pouring gently down the cliff's face, as though the mountain itself has leaked. Beyond these mountains, the tar disappeared. The Picanto continued to look so insignificant. Gravel road carried me deeper into the hills, towards one of Limpopo's oldest natural wonders, the Echo Caves. Long before roads, long before mining, and long before humans, nature had already begun creating something extraordinary here. Rainwater slowly dissolved into limestone, creating vast underground chambers hidden beneath the mountains, waiting patiently for someone to discover them. Meet Sidwell. He didn't simply show us the cave, he introduced us to another world. With every step underground, as the temperature dropped, daily light faded and sound became louder until all that remained was darkness, echoes, and history. One of the first chambers we visited resembled a giant elephant.
You are all warmly welcome here at the cave. My name is Sidwell, as I've already said. So, in this point, guys, we are 60 meters below from the peak of the mountain. And the temperature in this cave constantly stays at 17 degrees Celsius throughout the year. Whether it's in winter, summer, autumn, or spring, the temperature in this cave mostly stays at this level, 17 degrees Celsius. And that temperature makes it hard for animals to can live or stay in the caves. So please don't be afraid that you might actually see a snake or any reptile in here. The only animals which we have in this cave are the birds. Is there someone here, guys, who's afraid of birds?
The hanging wall resembled the skin of an elephant.
Rule number 1, we are not allowed to make noise in the cave. Rule number 2, guys, we have already broken it. we are not allowed to take ourselves some nice pictures and videos in the cave. Don't be afraid to ask me to also take you some nice pictures and also videos. This here, guys, is our entrance too. As I have already said that our cave is divided into two entrances. This underground wonderland was stumbled upon in 1923 by the owner of the farm, Klipfontein, who was called Mr. Jan Klassen. And when he discovered the caves, he was searching for a water source. He found the remains of his cattle here, the bones and also the skin. And in 1959, after the completion of the J.G. Stradom Tunnel and the Abel Erasmus Pass, this cave was also opened to the public, and the cave was later declared a historical national monument. The reason we say the caves were rediscovered, it is mainly because these caves, they were actually found by the Bapedi people. Remember, when Mr. Klassen rediscovered the caves in 1923, it actually took him a period of more than 25 years in making all the preparations in the cave. I mean, taking out all the layers, the dolomite rocks, which were dissolved. You can just imagine on how old this cave is, given the limestone formations that are found in it. You saw for yourselves, guys, the elephant head. Because for stalactites to can be shaped into a size of about 10 centimeters, it takes a period of more than 100 years. On this point here, guys, we have some water for you, naturally purified water, which we have here in the cave, guys, 365 days. We give this water to people who visit the cave free of charge. Young people believe that this can also solve their relationship problems and others. So hence we always advise you guys that if maybe you are also in need of this water and you have an empty bottle, please help yourself.
No, it's not your turn, Papa. This is the kitchen, where smoke stains from ancient fires still mark the cave ceiling, proof that these caves once sheltered people long before modern South Africa existed.
This is our second chamber, guys, in the cave, and we call it the crocodile chamber.
As you look above you, you'll notice something unusual. Many of the limestone formation hanging from the ceiling are broken. Their broken appearance is not the result of natural forces alone. Many years ago, the Bapedi tribe sought shelter in this cave. They discovered that the hard limestone could be shaped into simple but effective tools and weapons. While the damage cannot be reversed, it serves as a reminder that these caves were once more than a natural wonder. It was also a place of refuge, resourcefulness, and daily life.
So at the moment, the end of this cave has not been found yet.
By striking this echoing stone, the people who once lived in the cave created a loud alarm to warn the tribe of approaching danger. The sound echoed powerfully through the cave's chambers, carrying the warning message to everyone inside.
This part of the cave here, we call it the graveside. The Samson Chamber.
One of the largest and most impressive rooms in the Echo Caves, the chamber is named after the biblical figure Samson, renowned for his extraordinary strength. The name reflects the immense limestone formation that surrounds you, standing like giant stone pillar that have supported this chamber for thousands of years.
An underground cathedral sculpted by time itself. Woo!
How do we then go back? We are okay.
Yeah, we don't have a conveyor.
And finally, the Madonna, entrance 1.
Unfortunately, this section is flooded and the electricity is out, but our guide Sidwell has kindly offered to lead us safely through the dark chamber. Now, oh wow, it's huge.
Which we call the Madonna chamber. Not a lot of people were able to access this chamber. So they had to create another entrance. And that is the entrance which we used to get into the cave. And it took them a period of 8 years in making that entrance. And in 1989, that is when this chamber was finally opened to the public. Remember that the other part, guys, the entrance 2 was rediscovered earlier in 1923 and opened to the public in 1959. And then we call it the Madonna chamber because of a statue of a lady who resembles the Virgin Mary over there. And then that side we have got our falling table, that rock which looks like it can actually fall any minute from now. It has been standing like that ever since.
It hardly seems possible that nature created it alone. A rock formation so delicately shaped,
which resembles the three roundabouts at the panorama in Mpumalanga.
Standing there, I realized something. We measure our lives in years. These caves measure theirs in millions of them. From underground caves to giant open pit mines, wildlife to mountain passes, from engineering marvels to untouched wilderness.
How many years did it take for this rock to be formed like this? When it takes a period of more than 100 years for a stalactite to can be shaped into a size of about 10 centimeters.
Limpopo turned out to be something I never expected. Not just a mining town and mountains, but a place where two worlds meet, where nature and industry exist side by side, where ancient history and modern innovation share the same landscape. Maybe the world's greatest destinations are not always the famous ones.
That was very interesting.
They're the places quietly shaping the world while asking for nothing in return. Thank you for joining the Picanto and I on another adventure. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a like, subscribe if you haven't already subscribed, and let me know in the comments, where should the Picanto take us next? Until then, stay curious, keep exploring, because sometimes the greatest adventure begins in the places nobody thinks to look. This small town plays a surprisingly important role in South Africa's economy and tourism. Known as the town of two summers because of its warm climate year-round, Phalaborwa sits where industry and nature exist side by side. The mining industry has shaped the town's growth and remains at the heart of its identity. But Phalaborwa is not just about mining. It is also the only town in South Africa with a gate leading directly into the Kruger National Park. The Phalaborwa Gate offers visitors quick access to one of Africa's greatest wildlife destinations, making the town a popular starting point for safaris and bush adventures. Combined with nearby game reserves, cultural heritage, and the scenic landscapes of Limpopo, Phalaborwa offers a unique blend of industry, wildlife, and authentic South African experiences. Today, we're exploring this often overlooked corner of South Africa to discover what makes Phalaborwa so special and why it is much more than just another stop on the map.